I'm going to perform a real simple card trick. I'm going to do the trick and I'm going to explain how you do it. So I'll start by just giving the cards a quick shuffle, and once more, another quick shuffle. Okay. Now I'm going to make 4 piles. Then I'd get you to point at 2 piles. So let's say you point at these 2, so it'll get rid of both of them. Now point at 1 pile, so you point at that one, we'll get rid of this one here. Got another 4 piles. Right, point at another 2 piles, so you point at them 2, we'll get rid of these 2 here. Just like that. I'll point at 1 more pile, point at that pile, okay, we'll get rid of that. So now I've got 4 piles, point at 1 pile, okay, that one, get rid of it. Okay, now point at 2 piles, point at them 2, so we'll get rid of these 2 here. Now point at 1 card, point at that one, get rid of that. This card is the 10 of spades. Before I did the trick, I wrote down the 10 of spades. It's a real simple trick. All you need to do is just write down a card before, it doesn't matter what you write down, but as long as that card is on the top of the deck, then you just do a couple of fake cuts in the Hindu shuffle where you have the card on top and you pull off the bottom half for like your knuckles of your thumb and your index finger. So their card is now in this position here. I'll do it with the card face up like this way so you can see better. So you pull off a portion of the cards like that, then you grab hold of their card like that, or obviously you wouldn't leave a bigger gap as that, it'd just be a small gap like this, so you can barely even tell there's a gap, that little big there. Then you just pull off the cards on the top until you come to that little break just there, and put it back on top, so it'd be like that. And you just create 4 piles. Right. And you know their card, that the card that you've wrote down is in this pile here. So if they point to them 2, you get rid of these 2. If they point to them 2, you get rid of both of them. Either way, you just keep that pile there no matter what they point to. So say they point to that and that pile, you say, okay, we'll get rid of these 2 here. Then you say point to 1 pile. If they point to that pile, you say we'll get rid of this. If they point to this pile, you just get rid of it. Either way, you just make them choose that pile. They think it's their decision that they're choosing, but actually you're just basically doing it for them. Then you create another pile. You know that their card is on the top of this one here. So you say point to another 2 piles. So they'll point to them 2. You say okay, we'll get rid of these 2. And you say point to 1 pile, and you just do the same again. If they point to the pile with the card in, you say okay, we'll get rid of the other pile. If they point to this pile, you just say okay, we'll get rid of it. And you just create another 3 piles and say point to 2 cards. So they point to these 2, you go okay, I'll get rid of it, because you know that the card's in this position here. If they pointed to that and that card, you say we'll get rid of these 2. Point to them 2, you say we'll get rid of both of them. As long as you just keep their card there. And you say point to 1 card. If they point to this card, you say okay, we'll keep that, that's your card. If they point to this card, you say we'll get rid of this card. And you test them to turn it over, and it's the 10 of spades, and you write down beforehand the 10 of spades. It looks pretty cool because they don't really know how you've managed to guess that card. So yeah, thanks for watching, comment, rate and subscribe.